What is up, App Nation? It is Steve P. Young, founder of appmasters.com, the place you go when you want action-packed content to relate it to growing your app downloads and your revenues. It's been so long, but I am back from Fiji. We had an amazing time. I know we had some hiccups a couple of weeks ago when I wasn't there, so I wanted to test me not being here on the live streams, having some guest hosts to see how that would work. You guys let me know how it worked. All right. Maybe put it in the comments below. But I'm super excited to be back. Kind of refreshed, but kind of still tired from the whole trip. But check out everything on Instagram at Steve P. Young if you want to see some of those clips from Fiji. But I want to say hi to a few people who are here from the very start. Rajesh, when you starting? We're starting right now, baby. 9 a.m. every Friday. And then Samuel, how's it going, brother? And that was me. Rajesh, welcome. And then Adrian is here too. I couldn't do as much promotion as I wanted to do for this. And we're actually going to change things up. So we had a scheduling. It happened, right? We had a scheduling mishap. The guest couldn't be here, Sid from AppRoda. So we'll have him back in the future. But I quickly, that's why we started a little bit late. I quickly put together a presentation of the 5 things that I was absolutely wrong about. And so for those who are going to be here live, you get to see it. And these are all the things that a lot of things you might have known, some things half, I would say, and then some things you are just going to find out because I just recently found this out too. And one of the things I haven't shared at all. So let's get into that. But if you got any questions, leave it into the comments. And then, yeah, let me know the guest hosting thing. Just shoot me an email. Maybe we just cancel it if I'm not around. That's what I'm thinking. All right, cool. Let's get to this. And I will got some dad jokes. We got some app audits. We got everything. Everything's back to normal. All right, guys. Everything is back to normal. Here we go. Let me change this. Let's have this laser. I like this. All right, here we go. 5 app marketing strategies that I got absolutely wrong. All right, here we go. Number 1, you guys know this, but I think it is worth saying again, show your paywall during your onboarding process, right? Everybody who's been following the channel knows this as a best practice. I learned this back in 2019, 18 timeframe, but I've been saying it ever since then, right? And it works. And we talked to a bunch of people who have millions of downloads and are not doing it, who recently just added it, and they've seen an improvement in revenues. And guess what? Retention, right? So we know this to be true. This is a must do for everybody. Show some examples here with Calm, with Headspace. They're all doing it, the big guys. And then Nomo Robo, another one. So definitely have it. I know a lot of people are thinking about, how do I increase retention? How do I do that? We have data now that backs up the fact that if you increase your revenues, you will increase your retention. So unlike the web and maybe even YouTube, where you're like, oh, I got to create engaging content. I got to be cooler. I have to do all these cool little edits and transitions, and you have to retain your users. And then, it's a slow funnel. The app users are not that slow. They're picky. They're going to leave. And so you want to convert them as soon as possible. We've seen percentages as low as 60% and then as high as even 80%. The CEO of Adapty came on to the live stream and he said, yeah, we've seen 80% of all the people who end up paying pay during the onboarding. 80%. One of our other clients and a past YouTube live stream, he said it was 60%. So definitely have that on there. Yeah, not to say that there's a bunch of things I got right too, okay? All right, I'm not gonna be super self-deprecating. Number 2, add surveys to onboarding. This was something that I just recently learned a couple of weeks ago with Adapty. My friend Rich, he was in the comments of the YouTube live stream. He said, hey, I added some surveys, some questions during our onboarding. We actually seen an increase in conversions. And then Adapty, I forgot his name. But the CEO of Adapty, he sort of said the same thing. He said, hey, I saw it. Yeah, it was Vitaly. Vitaly said the same thing. He said, hey, we've seen similar results that if you add some questions, so it will lead to an increase in conversions. And what I was trying to say is, so I pick on the big guys all the time. So here's Splice, right? because they're doing well. Like they don't care. They don't mind me sharing all this stuff. When this is their onboarding now. So this wasn't before, right? We have a lot of video editor clients and we've been analyzing this. And when I originally this first screen, what is your video editing experience? When they asked this, I was like, oh, yeah, thank you. And I felt like it was going to be personalized to me. So I think there's a psychology and a benefit to having this on there, as well asking questions, as well as being able to use some of these answers in your paywall optimization. Supermama, who went on to 12x their revenues, they do exactly that. It's a great best practice. Find that YouTube live stream that we did probably years ago. But essentially, he was asking like, "Hey, what are you here for?" And then on the paywall, it said, whatever you're here for, we're going to help you do that. So there's another way, a benefit to it. I wouldn't copy this exact model, but I wanted to show you guys this as a basis for what you can do, because I do feel like a lot of these are sort of selfish to what Splice wants. So I would probably change it if I were Splice, but I do love this. I love this first question as well. Okay. All right. Number 3, just ask for push notifications. All right. Here's an A/B test. We've done this. You guys have probably seen this too, but I want to regurgitate some of this. So, A, where you just sort of ask for a push notification, and then B, where you kind of say, hey, you want to not miss any news and enable it. So I was actually talking about B. This was okay. I haven't been talking about it since I found out about this, but I was in the beginning thinking that this would be the best practice, but it's actually a 4.8 increase in enable. And then, so here's the proof. But what I will say is that we've also seen this with reviews, that if you ask for an App Store review, the default prompt that, just comes up, it's better. It'll lead to more reviews. Now, I don't know if written reviews versus star ratings are more important. They used to be important. I got a YouTube comment from somebody, thank you for putting that said he saw that it is important, especially on Google Play, because one of his competitors has spammed a lot with the reviews. Now, I don't know if that's the primary reason. I'll have to dig deeper. But essentially, what having talked to a lot of people, they're saying is if you properly ask. So I used to ask for the review, the rating prompt during the first open, but it would be the first thing you would see. But if you have an onboarding sequence, and let's say it's a completely free app, you can ask for it. Now, I've been saying second open because there's a percentage out there that only 25% of your first opens come back the second time. So they're already filtering themselves saying, I like you by coming back the second time. But I think first open also works too. So want to just say, just ask, right? Like sometimes it's better rather than being polite about it, just ask for it. Okay. Votich says on App Store is not very important. I would say and at Votich, I'm assuming you're saying the ratings versus the review prompts, that it's not that important. I think so too, but I wanted more case studies on that. What up, Noah? Good to see you, bro. All right, here we go. Number 4, weekly subscriptions. So I was absolutely wrong. I would see clients, I'm like, who had weekly subscriptions. I would try to get them to actually, I was like, hey, let's push the yearly. I think it just makes more sense, higher LTV, higher price point. But I was actually wrong. So Adapty, that was a great live stream. You guys have to check it out. I think the views are a little bit low on that one. You got to check that out. It was a really informative live stream. But Adapting, I took their slide here, but the LTVs in the US, and I'm just going to focus on the US here, for 1 week, higher than a year, 3 months, pretty darn high, and then 6 months, pretty darn high. And I've seen other apps do this, right? They'll have I think it's a 6 months they were pushing, a 6 months and a 3 month, and then a lifetime for one of these apps I was looking at. I was like, what? That's weird. But yeah, like, and I've had clients who say, no, Steve, you're wrong. Weekly is a higher LTV. And I was like, still not convinced. But Adapty came on and said, yeah, it's true. So now I'm absolutely convinced. And that's why I love my job. It's like somebody would tell me stuff and I'm like, I'm not convinced. And then more people will tell me the same thing. And I'm like, okay. I got you. It works. All right. What's up, Ricardo? And then Botich said, the problem with weekly subs is that Apple can force you to change it to monthly or something else. Happened to me. Oh, okay. That's interesting. So I guess it depends on the app. Footage. Footage. Thank you, bro. All right. The last thing is Apple search ads. Now, I have a video coming up with searchads.com. Love that platform. So go check them out if you're looking for something to automate your Apple search ads. But we just recorded this video that's going to come up. So, spoiler alert, this is going to be a key, not a key part, but it's talking about ASA and ASO relationship. A really good one. Can't wait for us to publish that. But essentially, here's what I've been saying. And I feel bad now because maybe I don't feel that bad because at the time it was the right strategy. So things are constantly changing. That's why I love this job too. So this is the way I set up our campaign structure is usually exact, right? Broad and search match. And these are all campaigns and brand, right? So this is how I've always done it. That means I put all the competitors, all the generic keywords all under this exact, right? Now, here's what Apple suggests. So pretty similar. And I would say that this is what Apple told me to do, one of their reps, but it could be just a rep thing. But Apple, this is how we first structured it. And Apple's like, no, you can just combine all this stuff. You combine the category and competitor into one and just call it an exact match campaign. Fine. And then they actually, I think because I went through the whole best practices, right? And they said, hey, no, you can probably just do this because you want them maybe at a campaign level, the broad match and the search match at a campaign level. So this is what Apple suggests too, but I want to just highlight what Apple is suggesting versus what I'm suggesting. I personally prefer this type of layout right now, but this exact campaign is where I was wrong on. Okay. I like these discoveries on its own because search match sometimes doesn't do well and sometimes it does do really well. I got either a YouTube comment or an email from somebody's like search match is doing extremely well. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. Thanks. And sometimes I've seen that too. Like search match is doing extremely well. So I would still want the visibility on the campaign level rather than the ad group where Apple is saying it. But I just wanted to highlight this because I did get a question from one of our clients who set it up through Apple's, and then I suggested this. So anyways, wanted to make sure you guys saw this as well. And then the reason, oh man, this turned out ugly. Let's do it. Let's fix this on the fly. Oh, crud. Ungroup. Watch me work. Is that a thing? Okay, I must screw this up. This is not working properly. Okay, you guys got this for the most part. Okay, there's supposed to be a line right here. Let's add that line. Bloop, there. Oh my God. This is what happens when you come back, from Fiji 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later, you go loopy. All right. So the exact match campaign where I was wrong on is where you should have categories. So this is what Search Ads was recommending. He was like adamant about Emery, shout out to you, but he was saying, look, we need to, because there's custom product pages, right? So if you're just setting up an exact match, now wait for the video to come out. But if you're just starting to get going with search ads, you have an exact match campaign. So these could be generic, and then you have different categories. So if it's a weight loss or meditation, you might have like things around meditation, things around breath work, and things around whatever, right? Like the different ad groups of all the different categories, because to use custom product pages, you'll need to have them at an ad group level. And now what he suggests is for a custom product page, because when I first used custom product pages, we were just moving the screenshots along. Like, hey, this talks about breath work. Let's move that to number one. And this talks about, meditation. This talks about journaling. Let's move that to number one. I was just doing that. He said, no, don't do that. If you were just talking about breath, let's say journaling, for example, if you're just talking about journaling, just that feature, and you're just selling it on that journaling feature, what would you say on those screenshots? So it's almost like creating a brand new app store presence and then using that cost per, CPP for that particular category. Now, another way you can use CPP, another client did this too, is you can use it on the web. We haven't figured out how to use it on Facebook, but you can use it on a web. So if you're working with specific influencers, for example, then have a custom product page that speaks to that influencer's audience. And then because that's where we've seen leverage it being highly leveraged. A lot of tests have been like just didn't work. So that's the best way to use the CPPs. Okay. This way. So we're actually, I was like, he was so adamant about it. He's like, I guarantee I've never seen it fail me. And so we're now structuring these exact match campaigns as like these category levels and me with it. Now, the other thing, just to get a little bit technical here too, and I'll just say this is if you already have an existing exact match campaign, do not pause it. All right. Think about ways to take out keywords from that because I did do that for one of our clients. Was the right strategy because what happened was we unpaused it because the CPPs weren't converting that well. And that's why I was like not convinced. But again, we were just moving screenshot orders around. And then when we unpaused it, the keyword that was driving most of the volume didn't drive. So something happens to the Apple algorithm that after you pause a keyword, it just loses all data and just like sort of starts over. And you don't want to lose that. So if you already have an existing one, it's doing well, don't change too much right now. All right, cool. Any questions for you guys? Those are the 5 things that I got absolutely wrong. And I'll leave it to you guys what you've been focused in on too. We'll keep this short. See, that's why I like having a guest. It's like it's easier to bounce off ideas off of this. And I'm back to do normal live stream stuff. All right, the raw material production value. Oh, Chich, what are you talking about with the production value? Is that the tell me more, bro. Okay. So don't have much else prepared and keep this kind of short if there's no questions from your end. I'm not going to just try to fill time just for the sake of filling time. The other thing that I want to tell you guys, I'm purely focused on this, and we will be doing this in the academy. I know I've been talking about this, but I'm looking to hire a couple of people to help us relaunch the academy. And we're going to share some of this content within the academy. The keyword install stuff, the black hat strategies, I'm really focused in on that. I'm obsessed. So things I'll tell you, things that I'm obsessed about right now are that the keyword installs and how do we, because I feel like white hat ASO will only take you certain so far, and then you need something to push these keywords. And having talked to bigger companies, they are doing this already, and so I feel like it is a core piece of ASO. And I'm trying to figure out what's the right volume that once you hit a certain level, you can get up there. So we've gotten number one for a couple of clients actually in different markets in the US and in other markets too. And I'm trying to figure out what the right strategy is. So I'm going to be sharing that knowledge within the academy, but that's one thing that I'm obsessed about. The other thing would be just, I think there's monetization stuff that we've been focusing on. And the hint I will give you guys is think about e-commerce and how e-commerce brand try to be back, right? And using that in the app space. Again, that's going to be on the academy side of things because I don't want some of these strategies to stop working or become so prominent that people are looking for some of these things. Users are looking for some of these things. So I will be sharing that. The other things are email marketing, push notifications. So if you're interested in possibly working together with us, I want more data. We have done email marketing templates for clients and push notification templates, so to speak, for our clients. I'm curious to see if those would be good revenue drivers. My head always goes to revenues. And so we've got an app that we have that we'll be testing out that has pretty decent download velocity. So we're testing that too. So those are things I'm currently obsessed about. And if you're interested in working together, for me, I just love having data and helping out clients with that data. It's because sometimes as this presentation is all about, sometimes I'm wrong, right? All right, let's see. Your charts production value. How dare you, Voltage? All right, come on, man. I hope you're not keyword against my apps. Could be, Voltage. Could be. All right, no more. How would you encourage weekly subscriptions since LTV is high in a Blinkist-like flow? Make it a default option or hide it in other plans pop up? No, I would make it into a, so I'll give a visual for those who are, me, I'm a visual learner, so I like to learn visually. This is like doing an app audit with you guys, actually. This is what I'll literally do for doing an app audit. Voltage, it's the content. No, Okay, here. So this is what Noah is talking about, this Blinkist model, how your free trial works. We've seen this work, Noah. I would just say weekly, like it is per week, and just go with that. We'll notify you if it's a 3-day trial or a 7-day trial. I think with weeklies, it's the thing that I've seen is 3-day trials, because obviously it's like 2 weeks if you give them a 1-week trial. But yeah, so I've seen 3 days, and I would just do it that way for that. And maybe you don't need it. So I am actually working with a lot of clients who do weekly, don't have that. Blink is how your free trial works. It's just as the normal start your 3-day free trial type of thing that you might normally see. All right. Interesting. So are you saying engage in Black Hat to get rank? I'm not saying anything, Luke. I'm just saying this is what I'm obsessed about. You look legal disclaimer. You do whichever you want to do. There's risk to all this stuff. So you do what you want to do. I'm just saying that this is what I'm obsessed about. So I gotta be legally responsible here. And then Ricardo said, I'm fine making Subgrow subscription. Nice, dude. Ricardo, let me know how that goes, because I think that's going to really help out. And then can you send me that info on Blinkist? Yeah, see, I just did. There you go. I like visuals too. There you go. All right. Cool. That's exactly what I'm saying. No, word on the street, bro. Word on the street is this. But yeah, it's been working. It's been working. I mean, I can pull it up right now. I mean, not sharing the screen with you, but the things that I have found work. I just look at it every day now, Luke, and I'm just keying in on what's working, what's not working. How did I get it from 5 to 1? How do I go from 200 to 20? Easy. That's easy if you're 200 for a keyword. But now we're using even going after really competitive keywords and seeing pretty decent results. So I'm like, And we've got clients that we're working with that are like okay with trying some of these things. So that's why I'm like being more aggressive with this so that I can learn more, and then just essentially investing some funds to learn more about this. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Some keywords are moving a lot faster than others. And I think it's keyword dependent too. It's like, some things will move a lot faster. What I've seen is if you were to engage in some of these things, it's a lot easier to make things move outside the US and then everything else. Is there a service where you can pay users to keyword install your app? There is, Luke. There is. I'll leave it with that. The app audits. Oh, there you go. Look at that. I picked these app audits because I thought I was going to have AdMob on there. So they were specifically more tailored to AdMob. That's why I picked games. But anyways, we'll go through them regardless. So if you want your app audited, all you got to do is go to appmasters.com/audit, appmasters.com/audit. I did recently increase that price of an hour with me. Just too busy, frankly, to do all these calls. So I'm sorry. And somebody was like, hey, Steve, I paid for it last time, but can you give me a discount? And I'm like, I'm sorry. There's just too much on my plate to continually do this. So I did increase the price. And then if this takes off, then, I'll keep increasing it until it stops taking off, I guess, in a way. But here we go. Let me take a look at these apps. Let me start with the iOS one. Also, if you were unhappy with the app audit the 2 weeks ago when I wasn't here, if you're unhappy when I did it, then I'm sorry, but I can't make that up. But when I wasn't during the one, then I am gonna make up that one. So I'm gonna do it live. That was just me kind of figuring out like, do people want my opinion or just anybody's opinion really? And kind of figuring that part out. But all right. So Jigsaw, real money Jigsaw puzzle, win skills. I like what you're doing here, Alan. So Alan wants help with retention, downloads, and visibility. Okay, cool. Real money jigsaw puzzle, cash line. You got decent reviews, so I don't know if you're driving them paid feel like these days paid has to become part of it, right? Like unless you have good ASO already baked in or you're running some of these keyword install campaigns, then great, good on you. But I feel like paid, even then, even if you're running keyword installs, like most of the keyword installs we're running usually have a paid thing behind it. So I feel like it is definitely worth having a paid channel and thinking about it, because I don't think that, I mean, every big $1 million app has a paid acquisition model. And when I talk to the Calm guys, they're like, we don't even think about ASO. So just to tell you the differences between the two. Okay. The real money Jigsaw, look, you're going after really competitive keywords, Alan. So again, word on the street, like Noah said, think about these keyword installs that might help you out a bit, because I think I am testing this out too. There's one thing I am testing out where we see a keyword that is converting really high on an ASA, but may not have a lot of traffic. Maybe going after that keyword because maybe the difficulty is lower, but essentially based off of the ASA campaign, the video I just created, it was, the factors of App Store ranking is click through rate, right? Like tap through rate, right? So conversion, how many people are searching for a keyword, tapping on your app and downloading your app, essentially, right? And that hacks the algorithm. Obviously, you want it in the title and subtitle, but that sort of is the whole premise behind the keyword installs is I search for a keyword and then I actually down your app, because then I trick the algorithm thinking this keyword and this app users prefer them together. So Apple's like, okay, I didn't know that, but I'm going to show you higher in the search rankings, right? It's the Google trick too, way back in the day. So what I'm thinking about now is if I can get a keyword that has a high conversion rate on Apple search ads, may not have as high of a search volume on as other keywords, but I'm going to put it in a prominent space and let's see what that does to the overall organics, because I do think that the case study that I was shared with from search ads, the more that happens, meaning the more your conversion rates go up, the relevancy go up, the more you're indexed for. So your entire keyword portfolio, rather than just focus on a few, grows. And that was the case study that you shared. So I'm starting to think through that, being like, you know what? Some of these keywords are too competitive for me to go after. So why don't I go after these lower competitive keywords that have a little bit slightly lower traffic, but are highly relevant and convert very well? And so you do need an ASA campaign to kind of figure all this stuff out. But that is how I'm starting to think about this. Okay. That's why I like to have a guest so I can take a break. Okay. Let's get into the app. All right. Cool. All right. Where is this? So retention. Man, retention is really hard for games, but let's think through this together. I don't know what the game's all about. So that was the first thing. I was like, I don't know really how to play this, but we'll figure it out, I guess. Okay. I like this. Okay. I think so far. Yeah, this is fine. Let's hit next. Game match. I like this so far. All right, I do like this. Tutorial, drag and drop puzzle pieces onto the board. Scroll left and right to uncover more pieces. Time matters. Complete the puzzle as fast as you can. Okay. Okay. I don't know what that means, but okay. Oh, sheesh. Is that what I'm doing? Refer to it like, is this okay? I guess that doesn't even go together. That's hecka hard, man. I don't remember anything. This probably goes on the bottom. Looks like I can't. Maybe this goes here. Got it. Okay. I like that. Very interesting game. Watch you guys watch me play, but I do like everything that's I'm seeing so far. Maybe this. Yes, sir. Okay. Yikes. Oh, I didn't know that fit perfectly. No, it doesn't work. Okay. Does that mean that's perfect? Okay. This is interesting. So, what I would say is think about your market in that I don't know if your target market really wants speed. And maybe I could be absolutely wrong about this. This is what this whole thing was all about. But like, I don't know if I'm interested in speed because puzzle games are supposed to be more relaxing than speed. But okay, like you're sort of forcing me down this speed route. This should go on the bottom somewhere, huh? There you go. Right. So I kind of want to see. I don't know what that means. Okay, I won't bore you guys with this, but really cool vibe to the game. I think from a retention, I'm trying to figure out what it. Just so long. Let's just finish it off because I'm trying to figure out what happens when it's all done. So things I could be wrong about. I don't feel that strongly about this stuff, but like I'm when I'm doing a puzzle, I'm here to relax, and you're putting a now. Granted, I don't know this category that well, but you're putting me, Alan, in a state of like anxiety, being like, "Oh, I gotta rush, I gotta rush." It's not that I don't come to like jigsaw puzzles and try to do a race as much. I try to just do relaxing. It's supposed to be more relaxing, take a long time to do it. What I also wanted to see was after I completed it, I hope you're asking for a review here too, because it should help out with that, right? With your all your reviews. So I'm hoping for that. I like this tutorial. You're getting me through this. What I also would encourage you to do is let's go into this real quick. The second open is probably put a beginner pack, a starter pack inside. Right now, I don't know where you're trying to monetize off of. So again, monetization drives retention. And I do feel like we've seen this with non-games. So I do feel like games would be just the same, that it will help you with this. So I don't know what you're for the retention. It's trying to figure that part out. And yeah, so here's the part. And I don't know if this is just a skills thing, a platform cash to make real. Okay. If it's just a skills platform that you have to do, but I didn't see this layout. I just saw play. So if you can, maybe just skip the other layout and just go straight to this, because this other layout where it said all it had was just this big play button. Like, what's the point of this? I wanted to see more activity. Just like, let's see what happens here. Okay, you're asking for it. I think you could ask for it one on after I finish that first puzzle, and then two, yeah, you can just hit me here, right? Like that way I know where to check out and all that stuff. I don't know what the other screen is providing me. All right. So that's what I would say. Cool. Good luck, Alan. Let me know how that goes. All right, a few questions that I can get into as well. Let me get into our. There's some interactions within the community, which I love. All right, let's see. Uh, no, it says, lol, yesterday's price is not today's price. Fat Joe. I love it. Acts of kindness. What's the best solution for ad limit, which says being access? Sorry, guys. It's not an ad mob. I'm not an ad mob expert. We're going to reschedule Sid for sometime in the future, but he's not feeling well. So hope he gets better. Calm don't care. They have all the venture capital. I agree. And then Akshay said, I have a question. At the time we're updating the app description, what are the best keywords to go for? How much competitive keyword that we have ignored the first part can add to our ASO? So I think you're referring to Google Play, but I have not seen Google Play long description be that effective with keyword. So I just keyword stuffing hasn't look, again, I could be wrong about this, but like keyword stuffing doesn't really work. So I would just say have those keywords in there. When we've seen keywords actually move from just like white hat ASO, it's because we moved them into the title and short description on Google Play. And so that's where it actually works. But the long description, I haven't seen, granted, I haven't tested a whole lot, but I haven't seen that move on. And I went from like repeating keyword 5 times to 8 times. Again, did not see a huge benefit to all that stuff. So I would say have some keywords in there. I've seen apps do really well from ASO with just like the shortest description you can see. And so I would say I wouldn't focus too much on that. I would just focus on the title and short description. All right. Ricardo says, I can't get past 5 to 10 downloads a day. It's frustrating. I'm afraid to adjust anything. In terms of what, Ricardo? So if you only gain 5 to 10 downloads a day, I think this is a great opportunity to be testing a lot of different keywords because you have very little to lose. Right? You can only go up from here. So this is where I would be testing a lot. I very much believe this, and I have data to back this up, but don't add more features. It is people think that I need to grow to add more features. I don't think you need that, right? At all. So I've seen it play out with people with apps we're working with, whether it's our own apps or other clients' apps, where don't change anything, optimize the paywall, optimize the onboarding, and boom, increase in revenues and stuff like that. So Adrian says, once I got over 100 organic reviews, I tried to buy some to boost my rankings, but they got all removed, both written and non-written alike. I agree. Don't buy reviews. I just don't think it's worth it. Apple is really good about that stuff, and I'm very careful on Google because they'll just take you off the App Store. So in terms of reviews, just be very, very careful with that. All right. Ooh, quick tip. I like this. Voltage. Quick tip. Try to do more apps until one of them breaks in ASO and then focus working on that app. Don't spend all your time working on an app that has 5 downloads a day. Okay. I like it. Zach, buying reviews is pointless. They'll get removed. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, don't buy reviews. Might even hurt over. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Just ask for it on the first open if you're gonna do these, like, instead of buying reviews, like at least the 5 to 10 downloads or whatever downloads you're getting a day might actually turn into like 3 to 4 reviews. So, all right, thanks. Good to know. I don't think uh, I won't read everything that you have to join live just to see the interactions. I like that between Voltage and Luke. Okay, my competitor uses the same keywords which I already am using. Okay, that tends to happen, Sarath. All right. I don't know what the question is. Okay, cool. Reviews and ratings are not that important. One of my apps have literally 2.5 average ratings, very profitable. I agree, Voltage. I agree with you on that. I think the number is important. I think the way in Voltage, I'll ask you, do you rank really well for a few of the keywords? Because I've had clients like that too, where their average rating is 2.5. They rank really well for ASO for a lot of the keywords, and it's a very profitable app. So I agree with that sentiment. When people key in on the reviews too much, I'm like, dude, I've seen the other side. Now, that's not to say it's the norm, but I have seen the other side where they don't care anything about reviews. They didn't care. They wanted to increase it a little bit, but at the same time, like they're very profitable despite the low ratings. But lots of like the number was high, but the average rating was low. And it happens, right? Happens. Like I think Facebook has a very low rating. I think maybe even Instagram does. So it does happen with these prominent apps. All right, let me try to pull up my Android. Android always is a big problem. Cool, finally works. All right, we got an Android app too. Sup, Ricardo? I'll ask my members for reviews. Yeah, you should. That's about the best way. Is the App Store ranking dependent on app downloads? I do believe so. Now, again, a lot of varieties, a lot of variables, but I do think so that it does take into account the number of downloads you have. So Tinder has 90% of all the reviews, 1 out of 5. That's Tinder though. That's a bad example. Footage. I have other examples, but I can't share them with you. But I have other examples of apps doing really well. And maybe that's a future app video that I have, but I've worked with them, so I don't want to reveal them. All right, question. I need some water. How much does engagement help with rankings? Is it weighted heavily in terms of organic rankings or carry nowhere as much as weight? For example, Luke, great question. I do think the velocity of downloads is the most important factor, along with keyword optimization. For word on the street is that for these keyword install campaigns, somebody had this particular keyword in the Spanish Mexico keyword field, ran it. Word on the street was this keyword had pretty decent traffic, but very low competition. And they were able to get it to number one, right? Just with that. I was like, what? It's in the Spanish Mexico keyword field, right? And so it was pretty astonishing to see. But I think download velocity, some of these things, tactics of like relevancy, probably more important on the Apple side in terms of engagement. On the Google side, probably engagement's more important because just think about Google SEO, web SEO. They think about bounce rate, they think about engagement, they think about all these factors. And I have to think the algorithm's already built for web SEO. Why wouldn't they relay that to Play Store, ASO, right? So I think more important on Google versus iOS. All right. Zach says, yes, I agree with that. Black Hat is asking for trouble in multiple ways, might not even be effective. Better improve your engagement, retention, review prompts. I agree with all that. And what I would add, Zach, is doesn't mean you can't do all of that either, because that's what a lot of the bigger players are doing. And I think that's my role in this is just to show it's up to you what you ultimately want to do. It's just to kind of bring to light what others might be doing in the app space. And I've talked to big companies that you would just be like, what? They do that? And I'll be like, what? They do that? So, anyways, that's all I would do. Luke says, would you rather have 10 downloads with awesome engagement or 100 downloads with no engagement? Right. I'd rather be the Pen Man app. You know, we did the YouTube live stream with him. He went from $250 a month to all the way to $1,000 a month with just 15 downloads. So I'd rather be that guy than be the 100 downloads a day and get no revenues from that. Frankly, I mean, if I could, I'd rather have the $1 million app that's not making anything because I know I could fix that. No problem, right? And then I might be the 100 downloads. Depends on the app, Luke, actually, because if you're getting 100 downloads a day, I might want that because I know I could fix that from a monetization perspective versus the 10 with awesome engagement. So I might flip that around, actually. I might answer you differently on that regard because I think with the 100 downloads is if it's not a non-game, you have a problem with paywall optimization. You have a problem with not features, paywall optimization, onboarding. You have those problems. If we can fix that, let me change my question. I would rather have the 100 downloads a day, me personally, because I know how to fix that and make money out of it. All right. Bocich said, what big players? I can't do that, bro. This is live. Come on, get out of here, Bocich. He causes so much problems for. All right. Is there a framework for A/B testing onboarding flows on iOS, or is there something I need to custom build? No, Adapty does do that, so you can A/B test live. You can also just, I mean, depending on the number of downloads, you can also just push it. I mean, it's not true A/B test, I guess, in a way. We can just push it and just see the difference between the downloads, right? As long as on, I mean, what happens? So the before and the after, and just keep it at that. That also works too. 10. Okay. In Playstar, is it okay to run multiple store listings at the same times? I wouldn't do it. I like to do A/B tests one at a time. It's called A/B. It's not, you know what I mean? A, B, C, D, E, F, A. It's A/B, right? So test one thing at a time because, like I've always said, best case scenario, everything improves. Like, oh, that all worked. Worst case scenario, nothing improved. And you're like, why did it not improve? You can't answer that if you have multiple A/B tests running, right? So just take one thing at a time and then move on to the next one. Cool. All right, let's get into the next day. All right. Whoops, I'm not even showing my screen. Okay. We have Chandra. Chandra says this is their app. I'll show you guys their app. My bad. So baseball 11, baseball game. You know, it looks like just starting out, Chandra. So not bad. I've done ASO and I'm not also ranking number 2 on a keyword, having traffic score of 27 in USA in mobile action, but not getting a single download. Can you please suggest something for games, ASO, and Google Play Store? I'm getting downloads by Google Play ads now, targeting India. How can I improve it to get more downloads? So if you're doing India, like obviously I hope it's in India is more popular with cricket. So maybe I hope you've localized to more cricket rather than baseball if you're doing India. But let's just take a look. I like what he said. This is a baseball game. Maybe he ranks number 1. They're waiting for Chandra. Baseball 11. Okay. Maybe it's this keyword. And so what I would say is the question was mobile action saying that it's the traffic score is 27. I actually do not rely on mobile action data for Google Play. I rely more on the app radar side of things for Google Play. Now I haven't done comparison with ASO mobile, but I would check out ASO mobile too, asomobile.net. But right now, what we use for our clients is app radar's data for mobile action or for Google Play, because we've seen the same thing where we'll get high ranks for a particular keyword and we don't see any increase in downloads. So I'm glad you said that too, Chandra, because I've seen the same thing on our end, but that's what we do, relying on when it search traffic for on app radar side of things. The man, my voice is gonna be gone next week. So what I was like, I don't even remember what I was gonna say. I'm like crazy. All right. Let's get into the game, Chandra. Oh, what I would say is Google Ads extremely important, I think, especially if you're just trying to get going on Google Play side of things. I've seen a strong correlation with ads and organic ranks. Sometimes it just helps everything. So maybe even key in on the ASO in India because you have ads running, what you can do to better increase that ranking there, right? So that's what I would do and try to get some more stars here in the game as well. There you go. I submitted a star rating for you. But try to do that as well, Chandra, is do that. Now, what I would say is adding video might help. Now, I've seen it work, right? So, and I've seen it not work, meaning like it didn't improve anything. It didn't hurt it, but it didn't improve anything either. So what I would do is you can see this, right? Like baseball 11. This is the video. This has to be on YouTube. And I would throw it up there because what I'm trying to really hack is that I'm showing up in the similar search results, similar games, game. And one, I think it was Splice. Watch this, guys. I'll call them out. I'll call the big guys out. So you see Splice is using this video. All right. So here's the trailer. Here's their video. And this is what I would do for YouTube. So try Splice for free. Let me see if hopefully I'm right, but let's see. Yeah. Okay. So you see that, right? And then what you want to do on YouTube from an optimization, this is a great example, is you can't here. So you want Splice free video editor and make, you want these keywords in there. Look, it doesn't have to be listed. So it could be unlisted. But I personally think I would leave it as listed because you look at the number of views, right? If you're a big app, you can get a ton of views on any video by just putting on the Google Play listing, right? And also, check this out. This isn't even Splice. This is BSP ASO. I don't even know who BSP ASO is, but like this is BSP ASO that's running, that uploaded it. So it's probably their ASO firm that created this video, put it on there, and then added it to their Google Play listing. So it's crazy that Splice would let them own this footage and have it on their own YouTube channel, but you do need to have it on YouTube. But this is the way we would optimize it: is free video editor. And like just like any other ASO, you want to put free video editor first and then Splice. So bad on you, be BSP ASO, because you should flip it. You want the good keywords to the left of it, but that's fine. And then let's see if they're using tags. So I'm using, yeah, they're not even using tags. You want good tags in here too. There's no video tags. I'm using vidIQ. I have a pay for this, but they're not using tags. So you want to have tags. So in your tags, for Splice, for example, you might want to have Film Grow or whoever works well for video editor. This is how I do it. Editor, be the big keyword. So UCut, right? InShot, CapCut, Power Director, KineMaster. You want to have these as your tags here in your video. It's like the keyword field in the iOS, right? Cool. Okay, let's get into the game. Well, I didn't come with jokes, so I apologize. I do have some problems, some jokes. I know I did miss the dad jokes, but nobody seemed to have asked for them either, so it's good. Maybe Ricardo, you got some dad jokes while I wait for this to load? How come it's not loading? So it's not loading for me right now. Chandra. All I see is a black screen. Hey, look, you can see the reflection. There's my neighborhood. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I'm on a Moto G8. There, Moto G8. But nothing's happening right now. So I can't play your game. But it looks like a voodoo game that is. Yeah, it looks like a voodoo game. I've seen similar games like this before. So I don't know what's wrong. I had to fix that. Maybe it's a bug. Maybe it's my phone. But I would fix that, and then I would. Now, what we have done is we stopped using H2 tags now. I just want to see what the impact would be. I don't have enough data, but on Google Play ASO, I stopped using the H2 tags. We are using bold just because I think it looks cooler, but yeah, we stopped using the H2 tags, and I don't think I've noticed too big of a difference. Yeah, it totally crashed on me, Chandra. So I'm back to seeing this. Now, I don't think it's app the AirDroid related. I'm going to stop sharing this, see if this force stop does anything to the gameplay. All right, Miguel got one. All right, I like it. All right, Miguel, dad joke. How much does a dead battery cost? Okay, go ahead, Miguel. What is it? How much does it cost? And Cardo's in the car. I like how you guys are just listening in the car. That's probably how I prefer to. Yeah, Chandra, it's still not working for me. So I'm going to let that go. I think we covered a lot from an ASO standpoint. So that should help you out there. Woo! Nothing. All right. Here we go. Here's a dad joke. Miguel says, dad joke, how much does a dead battery cost? Nothing. It's free of charge. There you go. Good one, Miguel. I like it, man. I like it. We'll battle next time. All right. If nobody else has any questions, we can go. I think Luke has one question. All right. Does your organic rank in the UK have any correlation to your organic rank in the USA? I'm wondering if I can spike in the UK. Will it help my USA listings at all? I'm going to give you a stupid answer, meaning it sucks that I don't know yet, honestly, because my first inclination was I haven't seen a huge impact. There are apps where we've been able to get it really high, like number one in other countries, like the number two markets for any particular app. So let's say US is number one, country X, UK is number two. We've been able to get a keyword into number one and haven't seen a huge correlation in helping our organics in the US. But that I would also say it probably does have a factor because Apple's looking at overall downloads. Now, I don't know if overall downloads means overall downloads in a specific region. So maybe it has no correlation. But my early results, not conclusive yet, but my early results say there's not a big impact from being able to spike UK and seeing that. You know what? I can actually say we spiked downloads in India and haven't seen a huge impact in the US or UK either. So yeah, I don't think it has a huge impact in the region. I think it has to be in that region. Well, my wife said hi. What's up, Ricardo's wife? That's awesome. Thank you. All right. Lol, Sir Samuel Miguel, great job. People love it. People love it. You won. I have, let me, okay. I can't end on this. I got to do a dad joke. All right. Here we go. Let me do one. I did like one. Did I do this one already? Oh, man. I don't remember all the ones I've done. Okay. Forget it. You win, Ricardo. I mean, Miguel, you win. You win. Sorry. I've just been busy of late. People voted for Miguel. You win, bro. All right. I think this is it. All right. Ricardo's wife's like, you've listened to this guy? This guy sounds ridiculous. All right. Thank you all for joining. To Ricardo's wife. Have a great weekend, you guys. And then next week we are back with a guest, so you don't have to be stuck with just me. We got Gregory from Digital Turbine. I've been calling it Tribune, so hopefully I don't make that mistake. But Digital Turbine, and we're going to talk all about their brag index report. I love going through these reports because that's how we went through with adapting and I got proven wrong. But we're going to go talk about like the breakout strategies. How do you grow with these breakout strategies? So to talk to him. He's from Digital Turbine. So go check him out. But I'm going to be back 9 a.m. We'll have a guest on. So you won't be just stuck with me without any dad jokes. I'll come properly prepared. It's my first week back from Fiji. So super excited to be back. All right. Yeah, exactly, Noah. 0 center, 0 sick clown. Okay. Yeah, this is the AdMob stuff. Need a post vacation. That is absolutely true, my friend. All right, guys, that's it. Have a great weekend. I'm going to be trying to rest. It's the 4th of July weekend. We'll be back next week with Gregory, but I'll stay and I'm going to do all the proper promotion for that. So have a great weekend, guys. If you got any questions, reach out to me, leave a comment below, do all that YouTube jazz. I'll see you next week. Peace out. And